Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Bote Patra. Uh, Today we want to talk about pollution and stress, mostly, especially on teenager. We're also going to talk about how pollution can cause more stress and increase anxiety and depression. This time mostly in teenager. So I'm also going to kind of like give you some tool that you can use to help with this problem. Uh, Lucky me, while I was you know, doing all my research, I came across this beautiful, a great article from Alison Peace. So before I go over this article, right, uh, air pollution is known to kind of like affecting small and large blood vessels throughout the whole body. So high level of air pollution are kind of like associated with increased risk of stroke and heart attack. So by permanently affecting vascular structure in the brain, so air pollution can have some serious effect on the neural functioning and the neural matter. And research kind of like indicate that living in the area of high pollution can have really serious long-term health problem. So living in this area during a childhood or an adolescence can lead to like diminished mental capacity and increased risk of brain damage as well. So people people of all ages who kind of like live in high pollution area for a very long period of time kind of like place themselves at an increased risk of various many neurological problem. So both air pollution and heavy metal pollution have been implicated as having a negative effect on the central nervous system functionality. So the article that I choose, was recently written. So and it was just posted on October 18, 2019. So let me tell you a little bit about the article. So the article was about whether or not air pollution can really intensify a teen feelings of stress. So a man named Jonas Miller wanted to like know whether or not air pollution can affect your mental health as well. So to really figure it out, he started an experiment in about 144 twins and teens from all over the United States, and majority of them came from a city called Calif in San Francisco or nearby. So each of the students, right, had a handful of information gathered about themselves. So Miller's team kind of like collect physical and social information about the student. So they also kind of like recorded each student height and weight as well, and whether they had like they started puberty. So the student also reported where they live and you know how much money their parent made. So the participant answered questions about how they felt. For instance, they might answer whether they were anxious or depressed or having some kind of like mood problem. So each student also visited the lab at Stanford to participate in the stressful test. So after the gathering of all the information, they were all given tests that were meant to keep them under pressure. So they had a judge watching them and going over their final result, and why they were doing all this. If they if they had got anything wrong, they would have to start all over again. So why being tested, right? They have a sensor keeping track of their heart rate and sweat level. So Miller reported that while all the students were testing, right, they all had a heart level that were very, very similar. But during the test, the children who live in the area like Calif, San Francisco, that had more air pollution, they had a higher heart rate and more sweat. So they were sweating more and the heart rate was elevated, was more higher than the other kids who live in the area with less pollution. But even more, the kids who suffer from anxiety or depression were the kids that live in the area with heavy air pollution. So I think that this information is not only beneficial for me, but for others as well, because now not only me, but also many others are kind of like aware of air pollutions. So an article like this one can be relevant for a parents or a teenager themselves who kind of like live in the area with heavy air pollution. So the article also kind of like suggests that children, should not, I repeat it, children should not spend a lot of time outside, especially during rush hours. And that, and the use of air purifiers, preferably those with the HEPA filter, can help with the exposure of pollution and it rose awareness to the fact that mental health is serious and that teenager, right, should be provided with the help they need to help them with the symptoms and having not only a healthier body but also a healthier mental state, can reduce the effect of air pollutions. So guys, I really want you to kind of like continue with your routine exercise, and because even 5 minutes a day of workout activity can have a positive impact on stress caused by pollution. You can also do some relaxation techniques such as yoga. This might also help. And at the meantime, you really have to reduce exposure to pollution since stress increase the effect of pollution and pollution increase stress as well. So it only makes sense to reduce your exposure to air pollutant. So whenever possible, you have to try to reduce it. So how can you and I achieve this? How can you and I can reducing our exposure to air pollution? So only you and I can make this possible. Only you and I can make this happen. Guys, do you want to know why? Do you even know that you and I are the only one who have solution to this problem? That the solution is in my hands, is also in your own hands. Let me tell you why. Let's say, for instance, if we all decide to only use environmentally safe products, to recycle, how use motor oil and filter, to compost yard trimmings, to kind of like, report any illegal dumping, to pick up after her pet, to also dispose of trash properly, also use water-based paint and start to recycle everything we can. Trust me guys, we all stand together and do all this, trust me, we will definitely decrease our exposure to air pollutant. And And guess what? Decreasing pollution in our environment, it also means decreasing stress, decreasing anxiety, decreasing depression, and many other diseases, including heart attack and stroke. Guys, I really want you to try this from now on this on the safe, just not just for the safety of your environment, but also for your health. Please take cautions when you live, in the area with heavy air pollutions, and really take care of your mental health. That would really help you. We just reached the end of our video. It was a pleasure to really share this beautiful article, and thanks for listening. I will see you next week for the second part of this video about pollution and stress. We will also talk about the other way around, which means how stress can increase pollution. I want you to stay connected. If you have not yet, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Quick reminder, I want you to continue with your workout and positive mindset. I will see you next week. Love you. Bye.